So timestamps exist in case you want to skip forward, but first and foremost, if you came off the heels of my opening scout video, you know where I'm getting at here. But otherwise, I'm full on TPRP because I messed up a recording, and then I had to stop doing everything for a few hours. So yeah, let's just do these polls while we're here. Maybe we get another Kitasan Black, but otherwise timestamps should exist in case you just want to skip to the training. Because the other part of this is doing a lot of, hey, as we see the rare version of Gold Ship here, we're doing a lot of Gold Ship runs because of the Batsu. So I didn't scout a single Kitasan Black, and I got another Biko Pegasus, which I no longer have any monies or support or the other things for. I don't have the materials. I use them all, and you'll see why in a hot moment. So unless I get Kitasan Black here, then yeah, we're gonna continue moving on. Oh my goodness, really? I think finally now I have a max uncapped Agnes Tachyon, but as we move on here, so I'll explain when we get to the training preparation timestamp, but yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it, if I could grab one? Oh, pain. Otherwise, as you may have seen, and as I'm apparently heard, I uncapped 3 different Guts cards. It should be pretty self-evident on the thumbnail, and theoretically speaking, I should be at 100 exchange points. I already exchanged 200. But yeah, that means I only have 1 copy of Kitasan Black. So let's find out if I can pull one or just get one. Also, don't I have tickets? Yeah, we might as well do those here while we're here. So we'll just use the tickets because, hey, as it turns out, when you have... So those who don't know, if you have more copies than the uncaps you have available, then they just turn into materials that which you can use to usually turn into SR tickets or of some sort of kind. But as I get more gold chips here... Yeah, we're just gonna stick with this. So normally, I mean, even I might advise, depending on your goals, for you to reroll here. I know someone who's rerolled personally, who rerolled and they immediately got, let's just say, all the SSRs they would probably want in general. But as I get the protagonists here and there, and aside from Gold Ship, I think I have more tickets. We might as well use part of this video here as we introduce this, because it is time relevant, I guess, so to say. But I think it's called something else. So let's just pull one of these out of curiosity. Nope, I can't see them here. That's right. So we might as well just look here. I don't think this includes the things ? I guess we're gonna find out. Either way, I didn't get anything I wanted, so let's just do our best to pull something that I might want. And if we don't, well, hey, I think that's also now my max uncapped Aoi, but I'm gonna find out as soon as I finish using these tickets. Might as well throw it here for thing, and I already have a full SR King Halo, which is very, very good for me. It's probably the only other speed card I have aside from Event Special Week, which are going to be the things carrying me as I continue on the other thing. I was gonna say something different. Don't I have a ticket? I thought I did. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just confused them all for something else. But if I don't, then I guess you just move on. I thought I did, though. Well, anywho, let's finally use our TP here and start training. So, as we get into the timestamp that is Gold Ship. So we need to do 20 runs of Gold Ship. Now, it might not be in a row, and I might add a Batsu here and there, but for the most part, hey, we're doing our best. I'm also just going to turn my brain off, kinda. No. Yeah, I'm going to turn my brain off. So if you for some reason you run into my Gold Ship, all you need to know is that I'm trying to do stamina sparks. I mean, as you can kind of see, it's not perfect yet. It's by far, and I don't even want Pace Chaser. So now that my Pace Chaser is now that my Pace Chaser will certainly hit A, we could roll that in the aptitude, but I don't really have much else I can do about it. So, and then for Gold Ship here specifically, the reason why I wanted Super Creek as well is because then I'd be able to borrow this Max Kitasan Black that someone on my list has until they make me unfollow them, because I think you can do that. But otherwise, yeah, we're just gonna go with this. I really shouldn't, but I decided to. So sometimes I swap this Daiwa Scarlet out for King Halo. But as we actually move into the next timestamp, yeah, we're doing the Gold Ship Batsu just to introduce really quickly. So 20 runs at least on this channel to throw up just so I can show. And I want to do it in less than a week or two, which means that's a lot of Gold Ship runs. But I don't really mind because I don't really mind. And I'm still, even in those amounts of runs, Even in 20 runs, I may not even get a single spark that I even want, so that's RNG for me, although that's kind of average RNG anyway, or it's probably worse than average, but you get what I'm trying to say. You're not likely to get what you want, and that's why you can borrow stuff, whether it is other Uma Musume legacies or just support cards in general. But as I start off here, yeah, not really much. I'm just going to be autopiloting the whole time, so I think I want to do another Batsu, but if I do think about that, that's for future Jordan to think about. Something along the lines of, hey, whenever I rest, whenever I get the well-rested event, then I'll do something. Probably something to do with writing fan fiction or something like that. I know that sounds like it's not a Batsu because I might enjoy writing, but just know that that's probably what I'm planning to do. That being said, the only other thing to talk about at the moment is the fact that, well, one, let's see how well this goes for me. Also, I just realized, actually, I need to switch this to career profile, because I just realized this is not the support card spread I should have been using, but I guess it's fine now. So, yeah, so this is not going to be a display. I guess if nothing else, this is just going to show, although I do have a, well, I didn't level this Daiwa Scarlet. This Daiwa Scarlet is supposed to be something else. I made a mistake. But if anything, it was supposed to be King Halo, or funny enough, I think it was Air Groove that's Guts. I have a max uncapped Guts Air Groove, and that is interesting. But otherwise, I mean, we can still do well here. Because otherwise I should have switched off this Super Creek for the Kitasan Black. The reason is because, as I show you the skills here really quickly, so here's a bonus in case you loyally watch, I did 5-star my gold chip, because Go Home Specialist is amazing. Well, not for most average trainers, because you most likely are not training gold chip or any end closers at all, but for me specifically training gold chip, it's nice, which means yes, I did 5-star gold chip. It's not the most challenging thing to do as a free-to-play especially, but it's what I decided to do. Also, I probably should have picked the other decision. I have not remembered my decisions yet. I really should, but otherwise, yeah, not much else to this run. This is going to be kind of a more normal run, but you'll see me switch cards, so I guess that's one thing I can show, even though it's going to be a drop in the ocean. And by that, I mean it's only going to be one run out of the many that I will be doing just overall in Uma Musume's lifespan, and so that means it's going to be hard to tell if I just get lucky at times or don't get lucky. I can kind of identify for those who may not know as much when I get lucky here and there, but for the most part, it's still going to be RNG. There's a lot of RNG, especially if you're a free-to-play and or don't have the resources, and you're still kind of in this phase of looking for legacies, although pretty much everyone, or I would say a good 75% of the player base still is. And there was something else I was going to say, but my brain turned off, so let's just grab... We do have Swinging Maestro. And funny enough, it's not, how should I say, too much, or overkill is the phrase to use, because if you are throwing your gold chip into long races outside of the career, you do want as many rare recovery skills as possible anyway. It's just that I'm not at that phase really much. I'm not really at that phase, so shrug. But if nothing else, if this isn't similar to the other gold chip video I've showed, then it will be closer to what you would probably normally be doing farming with gold chip. And so that I mean, with that I mean what G1 races you're taking. Now it's usually, if you look at your races here, it should be normally, you should know, and most likely they're going to be G1 races, but obviously there are special days, like we're in right now, we have special missions to do some specific races, although I think one of them is in the senior year. I already did it, but I was trying to show it there, but it doesn't show. I don't think it's in Classic. But anyway, what do I want to do? I think we'll do Stamina 5%. And that's the risk for today. I would like to not take any more risk, but it depends. If I see 4 or 5 supports, especially if it's friendship training, even if only one of them is proccing it, I will take the risk, depending on how high the risk is. Probably mostly 15%. And even then, it's going to be scary. So, we'll find out. I was talking about something and I completely forgot. But if you don't have anything, okay, fine, 10%. Okay, good. We need to get these supports up. I would replace Tokai Teo here, but I want the... So for those who don't know... Oh, I might as well do... We'll get it at some point, or we might get it at some point. We're gonna get special weeks first, but... There's a rare skill that's the Tokai Teo SSR gives. That's why I'm using it in the first place. I'm certainly not using it... Well, I mean, it'd be nice to get the friendship training, but that's not what I'm using it for, mostly. But it's nice if I could get it. I don't do well here, so I'm just gonna pick the top option. If you pick the bottom option there's a chance you get slacker if things do not go well. So that's why I pick the top option usually. If I go out on a limb, or if I'm feeling frisky, or if I feel very confident, or I'm just already confident, I might pick the bottom option. But you'll see me make decisions here and there. I can tell you some gold chip just off of my hundreds of trainings of gold chip over the span of my real life. That being said, no, nothing else to do. You were just training here, and for the most part, I should already win unless that happens. But I'm just gonna hope that an event boosts my mood back up. I do have a few of these, more than a few of these support. Well, a few of these support cards do have mood increasing events. Whether or not I'll get them though, or just get a random one from a support card I'm not using as I get. Okay, fine, we'll do recreation again. Oh, gold ship help. I could recreation twice, but if we get karaoke there, that's just as good. Because usually, so yeah, if you go through this, for those who don't know, if you go through this chain event with Tokai Teo's SSR support card, regular Tokai Teo anyway, then you... I don't think, well, I say regular because there are there? Anyway, you get the point. This Tokai Teo has a rare skill that's important. There are other versions. I forgot if Tokai Teo has any other versions of her support cards. I know some of them do, but I forget. And this is what I mean by I'm not a library encyclopedia or a veteran trainer by any means. But I do have caught on, as I gamble here, to what I should be looking out for, even though I will be skipping certain banners here and there. It's just that I'm going all in. The other reason I went all in on Kitasan Black, and I'm going to continue doing so until the end of the banner, is just to, as a self-experiment, even though I should know as we run into Killer Appetite, the event again, just to see how many carrots I can get before the next thing I care about. And by next thing I care about, it is not going to be any future support card banners, or a Christmas girl, or even a summer girl. Those I might do 10 scouts, but aside from that, and the only reason I'll do a 10 scout is because of the innate SR bonus. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably only do 1 or 2 scouts, because of the carrot economy in Uma Musume. But I hear that it gets a lot better later on, and that's something I didn't know when I was going through JP personally, so that's why I didn't believe as much. As I get second at hopeful stakes. This usually doesn't happen, but you can get RNG'd here, so especially if you have the stats I do. But hey, that being said, when I say that, I do actually think that I'm capable of consistently hitting first, which I do most of the time. It's just that for recording's sake, I mean, I guess the recording debuff hits me in the face. That, and I am kind of autopiloting here, which is not good, so shrug as I take energy here. But yeah, what you see is what you get, and what I'm doing is what I take from myself. So moving on here, we do need some wit, so the reason I think I'm gonna stop using wit, it's Marvelous, yeah, so I have a max uncapped Marvelous Sunday, which is what I should replace this Daiwa Scarlet with. I thought I did. Apparently I did not replace it. I think that's because I was training a Simbili Rudolph and a Super Creek beforehand, and I must have just unconsciously thought that it was part of my gold chip thing. In fact, you may have a gold chip set of cards, which I think you may have seen if I were decided to edit this video, which I'm probably not. But at the beginning of career preparation, you probably saw my Super Creek loadout. It probably had Marvelous Sunday instead of Daiwa Scarlet. It also probably had the max uncapped. I kind of blanked out there because I saw Gold Chip get hurt. But can we do it? No, we need 6,000 fans. So I have to wait anyway. I mean, it's not like there's much happening here at the moment. So we should be able to do the thing here. I think it's speed. Yeah, we're missing speed here. I'm pretty sure. Well, hey, but yeah, my sets are all set up for Simbili Rudolph and Super Creek. I do have sets separately for those two in particular. But for Gold Chip, I guess I didn't swap. And yeah, King Halo. The SR King Halo. I have a SR King Halo that's max uncapped. In fact, that is the support card that I have assigned to my account right now. And then I have a Gold Chip that gives 2 stamina and I think 2 medium. But overall, I think it's actually just a 5-star. It's not even a 5-star in the single stat. I think it's 4 stamina. 4-star stamina. And because I think one of them is just 1-star speed, but you get the point. Anywho, I'm really hoping another thing. I mean, that's not worth it, actually. So what I normally go for, if you haven't already seen it already, is I normally go for 600 speed, 600 stamina, 600 power. Not because I do feel it's consistent, but also just to try and fish for 3-star inspirations. And while I would actually normally like wit aside from that, if I don't do 600 speed, I can't reliably also look for fans here. I'm deciding what I actually want. It should be stamina if I don't have a thing, but I'm gonna actually pick speed here because Tazuna exists. I do believe, if I'm wrong about that, maybe I'm wrong, but I do believe Tazuna's energy decrease, even at just level 30, does warrant the extra reason why you would take her training. Now, obviously, if you get like 60 in a stat and 20 in the substat of a training, as opposed to Tazuna giving you 30 and 15 with someone else's friendship training, yeah, you should probably take the former rather than the latter with Tazuna. But otherwise, I normally like Tazuna. It makes my runs a lot more consistent. But again, as I mentioned before, and I think is pretty much true, if you replace Tazuna, especially no matter if they're at level with another support card you have, and you're looking for stats, go ahead and go for those stats, or skills, or events, which is something I normally, well, not gloss over, but it's something that I normally don't remember to talk about, which is the events of cards and what they can do for you. For example, some events can grant you a positive status effects during training, or they could just grant you more of a stat in general that you would like to see. Things of that nature is what I'm trying to say. Or maybe just energy and mood, but again, you get where I'm going with this. But obviously, SSRs usually give you some kind of rare, or have a chance of giving you a rare skill, like Tazuna's, for those who don't know. You could get concentration, but you could also just get focus, which just toss your training down the drain. I got stun locked there because I got second again, so I'm trying to figure out if I'm just getting RNG'd or if my stat distribution is a little messed up. It kind of is. Again, I would have liked to trade this Daiwa Scarlet, because I'm not normally when I add in a Wits card, especially my Marvelous Sunday, which is at level 45. Although, let me know really quickly if I should set if I'm going for friend points, should I set my card to a max King Halo speed, which is level 45 because that's max limit broken, or should I set it to Marvelous Sunday? I think both of those are equally as good. It just depends on what a trainer would want. But I do believe those are equally good. Anywho, so here we're going to go into the Tokyo Yushin. I don't think it was Oaks, but I can't remember why I would take Oaks. Anywho, moving on with life. Oh my goodness, my training turns. Well, we're just going to force power here. Helps with Special Week, but really I'm just doing power. The reason I'm doing this is because even if I had well, among my power cards, I think I may have a good SR power card now, but I just don't have one in general, and I don't really want to swap out a lot of these. Probably swap out Twazuna or even McQueen if I take Super Creek, but again, it depends on what I want. That being said, we'll take this big stamina turn. But as the game freezes for a moment, because the game is freezing, I've seen some people have trouble with Steam as of late. Period, that's all I can say. I would like to win one of these, though. It would be nice. I think you just need to participate to get the most benefits, right? Not just in training, but in inspiration, ? But anywho, we did get first, so that's good to see. The other thing I like to do is win Takarazuka Kinen, but I guess we'll find out about that. Because I remember specifically taking, or trying to win with gold chip specifically. I think it's only a gold chip thing. But yeah, winning Takarazuka Kinen with gold chip twice. One of them is a goal race, so you can't avoid it. But the other one is, and that's the one coming up right before the summer training here. So for those who don't know, yeah, Takarazuka Kinen is here in late June. Did I pronounce it wrong? You get what I'm trying to say. If you win this first place twice as gold chip, you can grab goodies, basically. One of them being possibly, randomly, the 12 billion yen incident perk. But you get what I'm trying to say at this point. But taking that specifically lowers your overall score of your girl, so you can put yourself at B rank specifically. And I remember trying to do this just before, let's just say a certain PvP event. I know I'm being very vague. I don't need to be other trainers, veteran trainers, and or content creators. I think I'm actually going to take the fourth option here. I would consider taking the third option, but we're still relatively, I mean, we're kind of near the middle point. But I'll take the fourth one just for RNG's sake. And by RNG, I mean there's a better chance. But never mind, we just failed. Was that like a 5%, not 10% failure rate? 15% at most. I don't even remember. But anyway, we'll just go into this race and just take it. So, hopefully we get first. I'm probably not... But what I'm trying to say is that, before I was interrupted, is that taking the reverse of concentration here, if I can get it, which I am on my way to getting it, yeah, it would be nice. But I wouldn't take it here because I'm still actually just going through the grind of raising legacies or just doing good, and especially since there's an event, the brand new track event. Let's actually focus on getting a higher score. And yes, to help with that, as we actually rest here because mood and energy. I really shouldn't do this, but also I took Takarazuka Kinen, so I'm going to be losing energy anyway. But yeah, I should be borrowing the max limit broken Kitasan Black for event points as well, because it'll also help training as a very good speed card. But hey, we can take a power training here. This is a nice power training. No need for friendship training when 4 to 5 support cards land there. But yeah, don't let anyone say not to never rest in summer training. Do so if you need to, especially again with my little rotation of participating in Takarazuka Kinen. And especially if you get slapped by a mood decreasing event beforehand, that's a very specific instance of which you might be resting during the summer. Because you want to increase your mood, but also get energy back. The energy you likely lost from participating in Takarazuka Kinen, especially if you RNG the second option at the end of a race, or you get a mood decreasing event, but that's, again, a different story. So, at this point... I'll take a peek here. I probably don't want to anyway. That's a lot, but 60% failure rate. Let's schedule our next race. Thankfully, again, for those who don't know, if you schedule a race, no matter how far back it might seem, it actually stays active for you. Also, I know some people just do 3 races in a row and just take the hit. I personally don't like to do that, but if I were really, really trying to farm fans, then I would do 3 races and take the hit. I think it's a mood hit for the first instance into a lot of other pain. But anywho, let's Tazna here. I was going to say something, but I don't know if it's true. I've tried to check if it's true, and I think it is, but you've seen me take concentration with Gold Chip before. But I can't imagine late starts are good for any girl no matter where. Obviously, I would agree that they affect frontrunners a lot more, but for Gold Chip specifically, I mean, since you're going to be an end closer anyway, but even with that, I personally think that it provides a bigger effect than expected. It's just that maybe it's not... I would agree that it doesn't have as much an effect, but there is a cost to getting a late start, basically, as an end closer, especially if you have a lot of other end closers. But anywho, and then, yeah, you can... I also wouldn't be too surprised if someone told me, hey, Jordan, concentration actually does nothing with Gold Chip, but that's neither here nor there at this point, so we'll do 8% failure. I said I was going to stop taking risks, but as I mentioned earlier, when I see 4 supports sitting there, especially one of them proccing the friendship training in the first place, I'll take it. I'm pretty sure the other ones do stuff. They still add the bonus. Otherwise, why did I talk about a 5% increase? Anywho, go home, specialist. Did I take Swinging Maestro, by the way? I could just check right here. I don't have to scroll back up, so let's find out. No, I never did. Well, it's nice to have one now, because this means I will survive the URA Finals race, as long as I have 600 stamina. You'd be surprised. Apparently, from different sources, I've cross-referenced just to confirm it for myself. If you have 600 stamina, at least this is only specifically for URA Finals, by the way. If you have 600 stamina, and you have just 1 rare recovery skill, and it procs, it has to proc, by the way, then you will have enough stamina for the race. But funny enough, if you don't have any rare recovery skills and you have 600 stamina, you do a lot worse, as it turns out. I think specifically, if I recall correctly, I need to check because I forgot which document this is in. I have not checked for a while. I have not checked yet since I played Global Server, but I think it's 100 stamina can mean a few hundred speed. If I had to guess, about 300 speed? Could be more or less, but obviously the less stamina you have for a race, the less pretty much your speed is going to even matter, because you take such a big hit for not having stamina, basically. For those who didn't know. And if nothing else, this is hearsay, so shrug. But I'm pretty sure what I'm saying is at least 75% correct. But again, I have to check again. It's been a while since I recalled that piece of information. I need a rest here. This is my first well rested, by the way. If I were doing a fan fiction Batsu, even though it's... Why would I be Batsuing myself for a good event? For funsies, just like how people have, let's just say, games where they drink liquids when something special happens. But that's the kind of energy I'm going for. And again, I can do a lot of content for any game, really, but Musume, oh, I can certainly think of things to do. I don't know if I want to say it, though. It's not because, oh, someone might take the idea. It's just because I don't know if it's a good one or not. But anywho. And yes, I know about the little fan fiction, or not, just fan work things in general. Heck, even on their terms of service, they say that you cannot... It's not specifically this, but to paraphrase, monetizing Musume content as long as it's not past a fan support level. I can't remember the words off the top of my head. I just remember reading it. But you get what I'm trying to say. Anywho, moving on. And that, yeah, I'm not saying that applied. I'm not trying to shout out, oh no, point at people. I'm just saying that that's when I'm considering things for myself. What do I actually want to do here? I guess I will do wits. Yeah, when I'm thinking of myself, I don't want to take any risks because things that looked even more general have hurt me through robots before on this channel, if you didn't already know that. I was going to say something that was kind of important, or something at least that I wanted to say, but I forgot, so hopefully I remember. But anywho. I hope I didn't miss a race, but I guess we're going to find out. By the way, why do I not remember a thing? Anywho, we'll take corner recovery because we're in kind of a long race. I'm pretty sure we have more stamina than the competition, but it'd be nice to have a lot more stamina because apparently the more stamina... Like, if I know I said before that if no one has enough stamina, it's the one with more stamina that wins. But to extend what I said there, essentially, if you have more stamina to spare than the others, even if you don't meet the stamina requirements of a race, you will go faster, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Now, the flip side of that is that if you have enough stamina, but an Musume in front of you does not, you do just take it in the face if you can't pass. So power is still important. Power and the ability to navigate. Although I'm seeing more sources that have confirmed my suspicion that, yeah, navigational skills, depends on the situation, but navigational skills, vision skills do not help as much, but that's kind of something I expected. We need skill points, by the way. And we're in early January now. Let's schedule the race before I forget. I've forgotten to race in G1 races before. And for those who might not know why, racing in G1 races, if it wasn't already apparent, it grants you more goodies. But obviously they're harder difficulty-wise. Wow, we really don't have anything for speed, huh? Well, I guess we'll wits again. I know I say I like to go to 400 wits, but at this current point in time, I don't like to usually go above 300, 350. And yeah, we had raffle time, so I really should have trained somewhere else instead. I completely forgot. This is a big mistake. Oh, I keep forgetting. Half the time I remember about raffle time, and half the time I forget. But essentially, it always happens at the same time. So there's no reason why I should be doing this to myself. Veteran trainer, or someone who has a lot of prior experience with Musume, by the way. Yes, I could also attribute it to me kind of autopiloting and forgetting, but hey, I think we did well enough to upgrade skill here. Yeah. And we should have more than 120,000 fans. I always forget the threshold, but moving on. So Osaka High, and then Tenno Sho Spring. I need more Tenno Sho Springs. Funny enough, I need the Tenno Sho Spring item to upgrade a lot of my potentials. Period. That's the end of the sentence. What do I want to do here? I guess we'll do our fourth Tazuna here. I think we overheal on energy, but that's fine. Better than taking a risk a turn later and then Tazuning there, although... Watch me get a migraine or something right after doing the fourth one. If you didn't know, doing the... Hey, speed! Doing the fourth and second recreations with Tazuna does get rid of a negative effect that you have. So... You do a twofer, which is nice at times. I think I could take Singing Maestro. I took corner recovery, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So, now we should be pretty much set stamina-wise, or at least we'll do a lot better in our races. Unfortunately, we can't force a long URA due to, well, the fact that we're taking so many medium races. But I'd rather still if I tried it out, I didn't like the results. So not because I lost the races, but because I didn't like the overall rewards I got. Essentially because there aren't as many long G1 races as there are a plethora of medium G1 races. So that was awesome. You'll notice how I never picked the second option there. That's a lot because of me not wanting to gamble. So the second option there has a random value that might be set to certain levels, but essentially it's random how much energy you lose picking the second option. But it can grant you goodies, or more goodies, or less goodies. No, more goodies or less, while also fluctuating your energy, if I recall correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, if nothing else, I'm saying all this information out loud and yapping for my own self-retention. We should be able to upgrade. Basically, another way to summarize this video is I'm really comfortable training Gold Shift most of the time, except when I forget about Raffle Time, which is a more general event that happens to every trainee, but hey. I think we just Tazna again and do the last one. We don't have enough skill points even if I wanted to grab Concentration, but we're also waiting for Gale here. I don't remember the full name, but Tokaiteo's rare unique, which can help out. No, Koshi, you're in so much trouble this run. Anywho. So we're in a very long one, but we should be able to win this a lot easier, even with our mood down a level. Because, yeah, especially if those two skills proc. Now, obviously, at this point, you might say, well, Jordan, your wits are low, so I guess you're right. My wits are low, and so they won't proc, and then I just suffered. That also, my power and speed are relatively low, but I'm pretty sure I outstat most of the competition, so there is just a matter of not proccing skills, most likely. But I'm shrugging real life as I say, well, RNG! But that being said, I do normally have a lot of speed by this time. So another thing of what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, I should have actually... This Daiwa Scarlet does not need to be here. Shrug, that's the end of the sentence. Oh, I could do that. Funny enough, I'll go to Recreation. Oh, that's right. Takarazuka Kinen is... I keep wanting to say Takarazuka Kinen. I wonder why. I wonder if someone can figure that out, why I'm unconsciously thinking of that. But anywho. And we're not saying, oh, guess. I mean, I literally don't know why I'm doing this to myself. But as we walk the distance and take Guts Stamina? Stamina. Yeah, we'll move on. Give me speed! I guess we'll take power. Again, the reason I do this is to get 600 in all of these 3 stats, to try and also fish for, essentially, 3-star sparks on any of those, but preferably stamina. Then after that, if I don't get stamina, power, because I can swerve that into El Condor Pasa and Simply Rudolph, or speed if I just want to just start training. I should just put someone in my sprint team at this point, because at this point I will be demoted in team trials, essentially. But actually, yeah, I do want to rest here so that we're ready for the summer training, and especially since we don't have any friendship training. So even just at a base level, doing summer training, I'm making I wouldn't call it a value bet, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's better for me to rest there and train in the summer than train now and have to rest in the summer. Unless my mood decreases, then it would have been a bit iffier, because then I would be at full energy with good mood, but that's RNG. And it does add some spice into your runs. Now, obviously, if you've been training hundreds of... At least we get to clock to try and... I'm leaning back from my microphone because of how sad I was there. But... really, I can't win this one? Maybe stamina... I mean, just checking really quickly. It doesn't need to be the... Nope, that's the second favorite, so I do outstat everyone. It's just a matter of pain. And sometimes that does happen. That's happened to me a lot more recently, and even though I had a lot more stats, but... again, them's the breaks sometimes. Or basically, another way to say it, so for those who don't know as much about Uma Musume in general, my advice, but I do advise you to go listen and or read and or watch other trainers' guides and whatnot. But my advice would be, if you see double circles or nearly double circles, even with one triangle, and somehow you get 5th or you have to clock, you were probably supposed to win. Is just that RNG said no. Maybe you got a late start into Rush. Maybe you just got stuck behind a bunch of Musume. There's a whole host of things that could have gone wrong. But yeah, I should not be training stamina anymore because I want to train power, which will train stamina, or I want to train speed. End of sentence. That being said, from what I see, a lot of people are usually getting about 30 to 40 stats in a turn. So yeah, another way to say it is I'm behind. I'm particularly behind, and it does not feel good. But I'll play through it, if for no other reason than to just try to be the underdog or something. But I like the little puzzle that I'm giving. Also, yes, do note that I normally just try to take things that are anything aside from speed. But as we finally get Gale here, oh my goodness, rushing Gale. We can't even get it because we don't have enough skill points. But I think there's one more G1 race we can go into. It's the loop into Queen Elizabeth in Japan Cup. I don't like taking Queen Elizabeth because I just don't want to take the hit. Once I can start training a lot more of my stats quickly, or once we can have more stats, like basically either through support cards and or legacies, then I will probably start doing 3 races in a row with Queen Elizabeth into Japan Cup. But Japan Cup, I'm going crazy. And that's not the name of the race, but you get what I mean. Doing 3 races in a row. Because the fan gain and rewards there should win out if you can win continuously, whether it's just because of stats or maybe you just get lucky. But anywho, I think I'm just going to force power. Yeah, if I see 2 to 3 supports, well, Etsuko and Director Akikawa, to me, count as 0.5 of a support. But you get what I mean. When I see enough people there, I'm just going to pick it. I actually probably should have taken Guts. I think that's between Power and Guts, if I recall correctly. Someone who says they train Gold Ship a lot proceeds to forget. But yes, I also know by the time you reach URA, assuming you win all of the URA series races, you will get extra stats from that anyway, but I still like to hit 600 because that is my comfort level for successfully winning URA finals with Gold Ship here. It's a very specific threshold I try to hit. But at the same time, if I had to sacrifice one to be a bit lower before they hit 600, to hit 600 at the end, it'd probably be power, funny enough. It can't be stamina because sometimes I don't get Swinging Maestro at all, or any. Well, before I got Gold Ship's potential rare recovery skill, I had to hope I got Swinging Maestro, and there were a few runs in which I didn't, and that made my run. I didn't win URA finals, basically. That's all I have to say. Maybe I won once, but I don't recall winning a lot. But I guess the flip side of that is I usually get Swinging Maestro, so that would probably be another reason why I don't remember at all. But anywho. So two G1 races left. But as long as we can get our stats at least to above 550, which are pretty much... Well, when I say stats, I mean the 3 on the left. But you get what I mean here. If I can do that, then I should feel a lot more comfortable. We've taken a lot of risks, though. I know some people might not consider 2% to be a risk, but it is to me, so... if it's 2% or more, it might as well be 50-50. If it's 1%, it might as well be 25% to me. Like, I can't stress how many times I failed 3%. 25% of the time out of the 3% I've taken. Anywho, I think there's enough for Gale. Gale can't be 329, right? I've been off by 2 skill points before. Okay, good. 323. I normally should have just... If I were feeling really frisky about... Or not frisky. If I were feeling really uncomfortable about these races, I really should have just taken whatever skills I could. Especially if they're just the step below. That's something I forget to do at times, and it is because I'm lazy and I shouldn't do that. But you get what I'm trying to say. Also, note that you do take a debuff if you race at 0 energy. So some trainers might be smart and try to be smart and go, oh, since races take away energy anyway, I'll just, race with low energy. No, you can't do that because the game will hit you with the mood debuff. And I think it's worse than the 3 races in a row debuff or continuous race debuff, but you get what I'm trying to say at this point. I don't remember this event. Funny enough, I don't get this event as many times as I thought. I recognize it though. That was stamina. That was not what I wanted. Anywho, we need a rest here, by the way. And then we will be in the series. Thankfully, we got well rested, so that makes the URA Finals resting, or the training during URA Finals a lot easier for me. And by that, I mean I will certainly hit 600 speed, 600 stamina, 600 power if I win all 3 races, which I'm going to be clocking anyway. I have, I think, 28 plus clocks now because of how much just the event drops. Like, I can't stress enough how much Musume tries to reward you for being loyal. And by loyal, I mean continuously playing. Now, some people might consider that FOMO or whatnot, but even then, I think, yes, while the carrot economy can be bad for a lot of players, at least they still grant you the ability to get Musume or support cards that have passed. I don't think there are any strictly limited and or FOMO type Musume or support cards, right? But obviously, yeah, obviously they are less likely to appear, but you get the point. I'll speak after the timestamp. So yeah, you get what I mean. And yes, while you can't directly exchange anything, again, I hear that it gets better. I didn't look into everything because I kind of wanted to immerse myself again in Musume. That's why I'm trying not to look too far, even though I've talked about Christmas Musume and Summer Musume and Summer support cards, but you get the point. I mean, I don't mind if some, well, I do kind of mind, so I'll do my best to keep spoilers off this channel for the sake of other trainers, but and when I say spoilers, I mean spoilers that are from other people commenting, but you get the point. If you go too far, I can't support that, but I'll think about it. Like, you really have to be not using common sense. Also, yes, as you've noticed, my fan count it's a lot higher than it normally would be. If you watch my early prog series, I probably don't even hit 250k, 300k on some scenario completions. Whether I win URA Finals or just in the URA Finals series and lose. We're going to take power here. From what I looked into, the extra 30-20 power does have a great effect. But stamina more so, because again, if you run out of stamina, so... but anywho, the other thing, alternatively, yes, I should have a very good chance of winning URA Finals. It's not completely guaranteed, but as you see here, again, funny enough, Guts does play a factor. It's just not that big of a Guts and Wits. And by that, I mean, there's still a lot of RNG. When I say I did research and looked into things, I mean in an average case. That does not account, and the average case is, funny enough, not what usually happens. It kind of is, but let's say if I were to distribute the average case, which is that you win URA Finals with the stat spread I have, it's not like it's 50 or 60%. It's probably more like 40, 30%, and it's that split into, hey, 20% to 10% of the time you do really, really well, and then the other is split among the other stuff. But I think you get what I'm trying to say at this point. We'll go 400 wits. But again, for at least posterity's sake, if for no other reason, data for myself, or just for myself, I'll watch this URA Finals race. I'm pretty sure I can take something if I want. Not that there's really anything I want. Well, now we'll take concentration. That's not 12 billion yen ourselves, but anywho. Yeah, we'll watch this URA Finals race, if for no other reason than to see. Again, the most blatant example of RNG slapping you in the face is you getting late start, especially if you don't have concentration and focus. I think that's the only way to quote. Well, no, because concentration and or focus are not guaranteed to proc, right? I think those are skills that are not guaranteed to proc. Even though it may seem like they do, I swear they don't. But it's not guaranteed to proc. Which means you can get a late start, and then you get rushed. That's what I'm trying to say. The most blatant example of RNG slapping you in the face is you get late start, then you get rushed during the race, and then you get trapped behind Musume during the race. Either because you run out of stamina, or you just get trapped. Some combination of those three factors are usually the reason why you just get RNG'd, even if you have like 100 to 200 more stats on each stat than every other Musume you're racing against. Basically, there's a non-zero chance for you to lose, even if you are outstatting them by a bunch. Now, if you have, say, this is a very extreme example, but say you have over 1,000 every stat in URA Finals, yes, you will probably have like a 98% chance to win, to 95%. We'll even go as low as to say 70 or 85%. But in most other video games, you would expect to win always, but that's not the case, and that's kind of part of the question mark fun in Musume, although I call it fun. So Shrug. So, as we sit here, yeah, I think I'm 40, as a piece of tangent information, I am 40 stars away from 3-starring my gold chip, which is very, very funny, but, hey, I gotta wait, I guess. I've gotta wait, didn't get to pull as many gold chips. I think it's 5 stars, 5 stars per copy of an Musume that gets scouted. And if I'm wrong about that, well, hey, but I do recall very quickly 3-starring my gold chip in JP. Again, I sound like an oldie here talking about, oh, in JP server, but it's kind of relevant because the same experiences apply, and I did waste a lot of my beginning week or so, pretty much week, in global server, testing things out, seeing if they were different, and I very quickly found out it was not, and that's why I've just kind of gone back to my old ways for now. But again, I'm not a veteran trainer by any means because I couldn't tell you the exact effects of guts. I couldn't tell you what you should exactly pull on aside from a Christmas, a summer girl, and a summer banner, but those are kind of to be expected because of the 6-month and anniversary events. I also couldn't tell you what you could do in new scenarios and the best way to use to go through scenarios, but as we get to final spurt here, we should be able to pass here unless a freak accident happens, like a vodka suddenly shoots up. I don't even know if vodka's here. They are talking about Grass Wonder, though, and that's the other one who likes to steal the show, which unfortunately happened. So, yeah. I called it upon myself, but it's fine. We have clocks. We have 30 plus clocks. Well, now we just have 30 clocks, but we'll skip to the final spurt here. Again, my little soft house rule here, at least when recording videos and or streaming, which I have not done a Musume stream in a while. And by a while, I mean few years. But, yeah, I don't like to show the full races after I've clocked once, but in my final race, when clocking, I'll show the full run. If for no other reason than, 1, to save time, skipping the middle races in between, but 2, to also get some more data in case I want it, so... Yeah, my mistake. Vodka. I'm going crazy. Anywho, you get what I'm trying to say here. We were stuck for a while. Hopefully we pull forward, and hopefully Grass Wonder gets stuck. But otherwise, game seems to be pushing Tamama across. Let's see if we pass this time. Ogre Cap, velocity up behind us all. Here's Grass Wonder again, pulling forward. Tamama Cross staying in the front. Gold Ship appearing from nowhere, really, but we did get second again. Unfortunately, we could not pass Tamama Cross. She was way too far ahead. Pain! Well, this is going to be interesting looking. Oh, that was my last clock. Well, hey, I think we still got 600 of all the stats, so even though we didn't get champion, it's okay, but yeah, the URA factor would be very much appreciated, but I'll just take this, I guess. So, it is to be expected. If I were to give a guess right now, I would say I'm probably gonna hit URA Finals champion 14 times out of 20, plus or minus. But then again, I need to work with my support cards more, so it might be a little higher, if I were to guess. If I don't, I could Batsu myself again here, but I guess we'll find out as we move on. We still have about 19 runs to throw up on this channel left, so hey. And by that time, we might actually get another scenario. Depends on how fast I go. I want to go fast, though. I want to do this in less than a week or two, but... as we get our B rank gold chip here, and then we get Guts, because why not? And then Pace Chaser. So that was the other downfall. If you didn't already know, at least for this timestamp here, we'll explain. So basically, if you have an A in aptitude, the game could give you one of these A's in aptitude for your inspiration, for the trainee that you were working on. And so because of the legacies that I chose, that increased my Pace Chaser aptitude to A, which means that it became one of the aptitudes that I could roll on, getting my Pink Spark. We'll call it Pink Spark because that's what everyone calls it. And then the game chose Guts because it chooses one of your 5 stats. So, shrug. I don't know if I can even use this gold chip, so I guess we'll find out. But otherwise, yeah, you see me getting close to 10 million there. It'll happen in pretty much 10 more trainings, and I might do other trainings outside of the recording. But if nothing else, the Batsu is that I have to record 20 gold chip runs. That's the bare minimum amount. If anyone wants to think of anything fun to do while I'm training gold chip, let me know. Otherwise, as we stand here, I don't think there's really much else to do. I'll do the events and stuff on my own. I gotta burn more TP. I gotta burn my team trial races, in which I need to get a sprint racer, so please excuse me if I do things on my own. But yeah, without further ado, I think this will be it. Again, if you want to support me at any length, do feel free to do so. If you don't, that's cool too. Otherwise, I won't take up much more of your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!